Hey y'all, Zach McDonald, your real estate agent with Real Property Associates, and exciting news for those in the Seattle area. The West Seattle Bridge is open again. It's been 2.5 years of closure, and really honestly, it's been terrible traffic as a result trying to get to West Seattle specifically, especially if you enjoy being out by Alki Beach and on the north part of West Seattle, because your main access was gone. So instead of driving over a bridge, you had to go all the way around and come back. So you're essentially doubling your drive. And I experience this a lot. We help quite a few people over in the West Seattle area. We have clients that are looking in West Seattle and Central Seattle, and people looking all over, right? And so getting out to West Seattle was always one of those things where they were like, I don't know, I don't really like this. And I think as we're considering that the bridge is open, I think this is great for those businesses, right? Because as somebody that doesn't live in West Seattle, it's kind of a pain to get there when the bridge is closed. And so people weren't going there as much from a tourist perspective. So I think it's great for businesses, but for people that live there, it's obviously great too, because your commute is better. But I think right now people are speculating what's gonna happen with the real estate market in West Seattle. And there have been a few different news articles, people saying, oh yeah, we might see West Seattle home prices explode now that the bridge is open. And I think I'm gonna pump the brakes on that for multiple reasons. Number one, the housing market is not moving nearly as fast as it was. But I think the other part of that is West Seattle overall, people have still been buying houses, selling houses there. And prices in Seattle and West Seattle haven't been too far off as far as the appreciation in both of those places. So yes, I think the convenience factor is definitely back, but whether that's going to dramatically increase the values of homes in West Seattle, I don't know. I don't think that's necessarily going to be the outcome here, but I'm certainly looking forward to going over to West Seattle with a little bit more ease, that's for sure. And especially on the north end, right? So getting to the south end, it's not going to change much, but maybe traffic will be a little bit better. But I think it's just really encouraging to see that the city's finally finished up this project. I think it was needed, right? Definitely needed to get this project done. And I was looking at some of the maps, right? I have this in my head, but I figured I'd show this because normally there's this like easy straight route to get to West Seattle from the highway and also from from I-5 and also from Highway 99. You just shoot right over. But that was closed, so there's this alternative routes map for buses and cars, and you can see how convoluted it is. And essentially, you're just putting a lot more stress and pressure on these different routes that didn't have it. So again, those horrendous commutes are gone now, but I really don't think that West Seattle's housing market's going to necessarily explode here. But I would say that some people might consider it, that we're deciding against it in the short term because they didn't want that inconvenience, even if it was temporary. So for those that are adventurous and want to check out a new place, West Seattle might be a place to explore. I think if you're thinking about buying a house in the Seattle area, West Seattle, specifically the sections that were most affected by the bridge closure, the prices in that area are already higher than the median prices in Seattle, so it's not necessarily an affordable place to purchase a house. But maybe you had a little less competition here over the past few years. So that's my hot take on this. I'm glad the West Seattle Bridge is open. Do I think that the West Seattle housing market's going to explode now? I don't think it's going to change too much, at least here in the near term. Thanks so much for watching this video here as we talk about the opening of the West Seattle Bridge here once again. And I think if you're considering a home purchase in the West Seattle area, or you want to talk about selling now that maybe there's going to be a little bit more interest, I'm happy to have a conversation with you about that. And if you want to hear more about the Seattle area real estate market, please consider subscribing to the channel.